What's up, everybody? My name is Erin, and welcome to the Mad Maker Studio, and welcome back for more of Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. I took some time before opening up to switch my stories around a little bit, and I made a list of all the characters whose chapter 2s I need to finish. So I forget who's in front of us down here, but let's go see them next, unless, nope, it's Franklin, it looks like, and we don't want to go see him yet. So let's find out who is closest in terms of our chapter 2 quest. I guess we could keep going east and meet up with little Ben again in Maryland. So let's see if we can do that. You share this bus stop with an old man who shifts from foot to foot, thumbing his suspenders and watching the passing traffic with anxious focus. "Hey," he blurts, suddenly turning toward you. "Want to hear a good story?" "Sure." With the air of a man who's distracting himself from something, he stumbles quickly through a tale about future Boston, where taxi rides cost $20, confusing himself now and again, backtracking, adding new details out of order. You barely piece the story together. Wait a second. You suddenly realize he's told you a twisted version of the story about the taxi, which shows its riders the future, but massively changed, with whole new chunks you didn't remember. "It's true," the old man insists, turning his wincing eyes back toward the road, and with that, the conversation seems over. Move on. Yeah. Oh, that's Mason. Whoops, I got my bearings all out of whack. Well, we don't want to see Mason yet because that's his chapter 3. I just want to get everyone up to chapter 3, and then I'll just, proceed not so much with a goal in mind. Like right now, I'm trying to get through everyone's chapter 2, but more so just to experience the game from then on out and then see if anything else crazy just happens after chapter 3, which I'm sure it's going to escalate. I don't know how much it will escalate, but it will. Little Ben.
I don't know you from anyone, but maybe in the end that don't matter so much. So long as we're after the same things. Little firelight, little morsel, a minute or two of company. Well, I ain't got much. And I sure ain't got more than that. I'll share what I have.
I appreciate it.
You'll do the same for a stranger one day by and by.
I have.
I need a laugh. Know any good jokes?
And this is where it gets fuzzy because there's so many characters at play now, I don't remember what stories I've already told them or that they already know. So I think as we get closer to the end, though, it'll be easier to whittle down what each character has already heard. And we still have a ton of stories we haven't even heard yet. Now, would you still find this story funny?
You are a pretty funny one, you know that? Choice? I didn't have one. I had no family left. Nothing was really mine. I suppose I could have just took off when the company men came down and shot at us. I got nothing to tell you, except the thought never did cross my mind. I must be stupid as they said we were for organizing.
Real quick, I just remembered a really good documentary about really Little Ben's situation entirely. I had to watch it in school, but it's called Harlan County, USA, and it's about coal miners trying to get unionized, and it really helps you get in touch with what was going through their minds of like, we're not just a shovel, we're not just a pickaxe, we're actual people, and we deserve to be treated just as normal human beings. We are not just a tool. And I thought it was very powerful, and I do have a lot of family that lives up in coal country.
Stupid. I reckon just like one of the horses. Got any hopeful stories to tell? I need something like that.
I got you, friend.
Wish that the world were good like that, right? Well, maybe it will be. This country? Pretty here. How many human bodies you think it's built on?
Oof. A lot.
I'm just being figurative. Mostly.
Just being real, man.
See anything exciting out there on the road? Mostly I just seen dogs.
I mean, dogs can be pretty exciting on their own. If this wasn't exciting, I don't know what is.
Come on. Don't try to cheer me up with that lying nonsense.
Okay, but we can all agree that objectively, that story was both beautiful and terrifying, which is exciting.
My wishes come true? Sure. I got some in mind. Injury to one of us is the business of all of us. Imagine a government like that, a whole world like that. Enough to go round, so long as you work. Nobody left wanting, nobody eaten up by the gears of industry, nobody's money setting them up above you. What if heaven's just this country, but better? See anything exciting out there on the road? Mostly I just seen dogs. Huh. Ain't funny to me.
Well, I didn't think that was a funny story, but now I know.
When you travel, you never want to let go of where you're from, friend. That doesn't mean it's got to be everything about you.
Reach!
Everywhere you go, we all bleed if we get nicked. We all serve and die the same. See anything exciting out there on the road? Mostly I just seen dogs.
Well, I've botched 2 stories, so I do not think we are going to get his chapter 3, but that's okay. You can always try again.
Well, just seems like wishful thinking to me.
Okay, so the butterflies are a hopeful story?
Joy is when you speak up for your brother, and then he speaks up for you. If you gotta stand on a firing line, to know you won't be standing alone. Here comes the dawn. Headed out this way. Can't say where specifically. My safety and yours, you understand. My journey ain't so long as the crow flies, but it's winding. Detours for hiding, for dodging dogs, men with guns. See, I don't have to run from you, though. If we run into one another out that way, maybe we'll share a little fire again.
I'd like that very much. It's okay. He's right there, so we could technically try again, but I don't want to do characters back to back in the same episode if I can help it. So I think a lot of everyone else, I need to head way back out west. Why don't we try to find a train to hop and see where we end up? Again, it always whites out too fast for me to see. What? Oh no. I didn't mean for this to happen.
You seem an alright sort, stranger. But there are some real bums out there, and I ain't talking about folks who are down on their luck.
Of all of the transformations Quinn could have been, I was not expecting this whatsoever. And I did not intend to jump into his chapter 3. But here we are. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see what happens.
Got myself run off from a nice spot I done set all up a few miles back for winter. Ain't the first time I've been run off. Let me tell you about the bunch of Judases what raised me. I was oldest, had a brother and a baby sister.
Oh, and what's with all these different hands?
The farm was small, but it weren't sad and all full of ruination in the early days. But I suppose my ma and pa couldn't make a go of it. When things started getting depressed and tight, every damn thing started to fall to pieces. First, they stole from us, money we'd been saving or earned, things they could sell. Then they abandoned my brother, letting him die instead of calling a doctor. Then they sent me on my way, saying they couldn't provide no more, that I was too big for him to keep.
Oh, so he's not a runaway. He got thrown away. That's even sadder.
Hey, tell me one of those exciting stories.
Oh, let's see what I can do for you, bud.
Well, that was something. You spin a good yarn. Well, talking of choices, I don't rightly know what I could have done different. Run away sooner. Maybe if I did, they could have paid for the doctor.
Oh, honey, don't blame yourself for that.
You got any happy stories?
Has he ever asked for a happy story? I think the ducks were hopeful. The butterflies. Let's try the butterflies.
Sometimes I need a tale like that just to remind me it's not all depressed out there. Joy in my life. I used to be happy in that old farmhouse by the river, but it's all fuzzy now. Mostly I remember Mama and Daddy fighting over money, over the poor state of the farm. Hey, do you got any really thrilling stories to tell? I'm hankering for one of those.
Well, let's see what I can do for you.
That was a chuckle to be sure.
Oh.
But do you know anything more lively? You know, though, I'm sick to death of talking about faith or getting wishes granted. Gotta trust in the Lord, Quinn, they said as my brother lay dying. My folks too damn prideful to send for a doctor they knew they couldn't pay for. Gotta trust in the Lord, they said, but he didn't provide neither. I never wished for anything more than I wished to keep my brother. But wishing never did a damn thing for nobody. You got any stories that are a little sad?
Tons.
Shoot, I ain't teared up. Just got something in my eyes, all. Puts me in a sad mood. I think the thing that eats at me most, more'n my brother being left alone on his deathbed, folk do get sick and die after all. More'n being betrayed myself, I reckon I done all right on my own. It's that my baby sister got left behind. Those Judases still have her. Don't know what idea turns my stomach more, that in the end they betrayed her too, or that she got a normal life, that they're all happy together and she has no idea what the cost was. I want to hear one of them venturing tales. Got any?
Oh, poor baby boy, Quinn.
Were you trying to scare me? Well, you didn't go far enough.
Well, I didn't think an eclipse was scary. Well, I guess what happened after that was scary, but...
Stranger, I try my best not to think on the past. This ain't my normal state of things. But, you see, Cass ain't a very good conversationalist, and it's nice to have someone really listen to my story. Well, night's over. Didn't understand all your stories, but I'd hear more if I see you again on my travels. Look, I didn't mean to drag you down with my stories of misery and suffering or whatever. but you're a good listener. That's rare in a person, you know. But round you, I feel safe to tell the truth. Look, I'm heading up the road this way. Where are you going? I hope our roads cross again, friend.
Wow. You hop off the boxcar and successfully sneak your way out of the train yard without catching any unwanted attention. Move on. Where are we? Oh, we didn't go far at all. Did we just stay where we were because we got his story? Well, here's Dupree. I've not seen her in a while. Well, can I actually hop this train now? Okay, I was a little concerned we might have to talk to Quinn again, but it looks like he has moved all the way onto the East Coast. And I'm waiting for this to bite me in the butt. I'm gonna get caught eventually. Wow, we're not... I'm just gonna have to walk. We're not moving anywhere. Maybe it's better if I walk so I can get more stories. Potentially. Because we've got 99 more stories to collect. There's a whole country out there. You're seeing this too, right? When we left Quinn, he was at Rhode Island. But he's also down here in Indiana. Is that a glitch? Oh, I saw New Orleans. I was paying attention. Okay, I have no money, and I have an opportunity to earn money here, so let's try that. You wander the streets of the city looking for a way to make some cash. I looked for work last time, let's panhandle this time. No charity from the city today, maybe they're all broke, you'd believe it too. You haven't seen anyone in hours who looks like they know where their next dinner's coming from, move on. Well, darn, well at least I have my health and my sleep. Here? Is that in Texas? I do not know. Let's find out. You hop off the boxcar and successfully sneak your way out of the train yard without catching any unwanted attention. Move on. Oh, we're in South Dakota. Maybe there is more stories around here. We're a lot further out west, which is what I was hoping for. Okay, and we're close to August, so let's make a beeline for him. If we can. This farmer is loitering beside a couple crates of berries, idly watching the clouds go by. Waiting for the pickup, he says, trying to make small talk. Hey, you want to hear a wild story? Absolutely. He starts telling you how there ain't been a man hired to do any job anywhere in New York City in over a month. It takes a couple minutes, but suddenly you recognize it as a story about the man who had to travel 600 miles to find a single job. Whoever told it to the farmer changed, well, a lot. But it's still pretty good. Where'd you hear that story? Oh, I can't remember, he says. I think I've known it for years, since I was a boy for sure. That can't be right. Leave him with his tale. You thank him for a story and start to mosey down the road. Keep cool, friend, he calls after you. What's up, August?
Well, look at that. You're back. Come to hear more about my Louisa?
And this was something I was also thinking about the last time I saw him and while I was editing past episodes, is if we've already had an interaction with him and we have gotten the eye partially open, then it looks like we don't have to start from scratch, which is a big plus.
Back then, I thought it would all work out. There was always problems, but I loved her more than anything in the world. And for a while, that was enough. But you tell me, what's the wildest thing you've seen on the roads out here? Anything good and exciting?
When I shuffled my stories around, I didn't really have exciting in mind. Let's see if I can find something.
Ooh, tell another like that and you could write a good rag. Choice. My mama wanted me to choose a good Christian woman. But it was my heart that chose Louisa. So I miss them blood-pounding adventure stories. You got any like that? Well, fear is cheap. I used to read the scary ones, so I know. First time I stepped out with Louisa, I put on my Sunday clothes, bought carnations, got so nervous I gave the corsage to her daddy instead of her. He never let me forget it. Anyhow, you got any stories that end looking up? I miss those hopeful ones. Leaves a warm feeling in your chest, huh? Joy? Well, seeing a doll smile when she sees you? Not much better than that. Especially if that doll's Louisa. But you know, the books I miss the most is the hopeful ones. Got any of those? Well, that one sure makes me smile. Family like that was new to me. Never wanted to be a daddy on account of my own. But when Louisa got in the family way, I ain't never been so excited. But you tell me, what's the wildest thing you've seen on the roads out here? Anything good and exciting?
It's already heard about that. There's some, like, that blur the lines of, I don't know if this, like, I thought this was exciting. It was terrifying because he was just, like, so excited his daughter had a baby that he was just unleashing superhuman strength and destroying a city. We've already got his eye fully open. I want to know what kind of story this is.
World ain't always like that, you know.
Maybe hopeful.
Don't know how me and Louisa came together. We couldn't have known where we'd end up. Guess we had faith. Her and me and her. Well, here's the sun. Gotta get going soon.
Nice talking to you, August.
All this talk makes me think about my girl. Before our daughter, I never knew what it was like to have a life depend on mine. But once I held my baby girl in my arms, I finally learned my daddy's lesson. What about you? What lessons do you learn as your life goes twisting along?
This man reads the newspaper with barely contained horror, his grimace spreading wider and wider as he makes his way down the page. Suddenly, his frown cracks into something with a little more amazement in it. Whoa, he says. What's the matter? He reads out a story about a witch girl and her kitten familiars. You're shocked. It's the story of the girl with a basket of kittens, but with some bits changed. Do you think this really happened? He asks. It's all made up. Oh, yes. I really like the Kitten Basket story, and I very much want to say, oh, it's just all made up and keep it, but I'm gonna keep on the path of always let the story grow, no matter how ridiculous it gets. He shrugs. Sounds like nonsense to me for sure, he says. The stuff they print these days, whew. Move on. Now that she's a witch, I wonder if that will still be a funny story. More importantly, let's make sure I'm going in a good direction. Sure, let's head south and see Ray again. Well, look at this story tucked away back here.
You come to a car parked at the side of the road. Across the road, some children loiter. As you approach the car, their gazes make their way to you.
Hey!
One girl shouts. She waves at you, then points at the car. Don't open the door!
Look at the door, or why not?
Before you can question the girl, the car's suspension groans and a shape stirs inside. A huge black dog panting on the hot seat, lips pulled back on rows of sharky teeth. Hey! He says, nose pressed against the glass. Hey, you! Let me out of here!
Sure or no way? Okay. We've helped a buffalo. We've tried to help a horse and a deer. I'm going to help the dog. We are on a track of always saying yes, let the story grow, and always help animals, even if they are not normal animals.
No! The kids scream. The dog vaults across the road. As the kids scatter into the woods, it catches one boy by the back of his overalls and gives a mighty shake. But the boy squirts out of his clothes like a ferret and slithers into the grass. Fucking pricks! The dog yells. Assholes!
What the hell?
Here's a tip, the dog says. Don't sleep in these woods, okay? He jumps back into the car and goes nosing through the glove box. Oh, they took my money! He shouts. God, they took $100! Oh, damn!
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, don't lock a dog in a hot car. That's not cool. Nope, we've already earned money here. Listen to this, blurts a boy loitering outside this grocery store. He works his way through a long and strange story about the painters who cheated of their fee, killed the man who hired them. There, he finishes. What do you think? Wait a minute. Well, you know this story. It's the story of the shady painters who asked for a favor, but wildly altered. For a couple moments, you're too surprised to respond. Seriously, the boy insists. What do you think of that one? It's a great story. He smiles sheepishly. Thanks, he says. I heard it from my brother. Move on. The school sports shed is unlocked, so you bed down on the piled football pads. You're soon woken by a teacher dragging in a bag of dirty baseball bases. Don't mind me, he laughs. Just be gone by morning, okay? You keep your promise and get a full night's sleep and comfort. Move on. Fantastic, because my sleep was shot, and the drawback with these rivers is you can only cross them at specified points, and I'm trying to get down south to where Ray is, and there's so much lag. Let it settle down. Okay. Because I'm too excited. Getting laggy, it can't hold in all my excitement. These fellas lounging at the front of a half-finished office building taking their lunch break. Hey, one calls, waving you down. Rick was telling us this story, listen, okay? And you can tell if it's BS or not. Sure. Rick, a credulous seaman fellow, starts telling you a story about the suicide cult of acid heads led by a charismatic man. You realize it's the story of the VW bus parked and empty, but changed in a few major ways, so it's definitely part BS, right? But also a little real? It's not BS, and I've not told that story like maybe once. Half the group groans. How the hell is that supposed to be a real story? Exclaims the man who waved you down. You're all the most gullible pieces I ever met. And the other half of the group, vindicated, shares a bottle of pop with you. Move on. And I believe this is Orocio up here on the right. Yes, we do not want to talk to him yet, because he is in chapter 3.
An older, portly man stands on the street corner, fixing a look of refined disdain on everyone who walks past. As he catches sight of you, he alights on you with a kind of thrill. You! He calls, pointing.
Move past him or see what he wants. Let's see what he wants.
He sidles closer to you. You aren't from around here, huh? You, want to make some cash?
Well, this can only deteriorate my health, so sure.
Great. Good.
I didn't
This
even
way.
ask.
He takes you down an alley where a car is parked. A little shabbier than you expected. Up close, he's a lot shabbier too. He draws a pistol from inside his jacket. Give me everything you got. He snaps.
I promise this is not a reflection of myself IRL. I'm in a game, so I'm just being all kinds of careless.
He pats you down, but finds nothing. Damn it! He hisses, smacking you with the butt of his gun. As you fall, you hear the car's engine start. It peels off as you get back onto your feet. You watch him just barely avoid clipping a dumpster as he speeds out of view.
That's right, I had no money for you to steal. And I should have seen that coming. I still have my health. Surprisingly enough. Orocio, we will come back for you, I promise. The bar is crowded with people from every walk of life, businessmen, young men in muddy overalls, and a crowd of girls in slinky dresses preparing their blood alcohol content for a night on the town. But it's the squat, sharp-eyed man in the fedora who catches your attention. Start a conversation. He launches into a wild story about pale death tending to his flock. Halfway through, he stops, recognizing the look on your face. You know this one? You tell him the story about the gaunt shepherd. That's it. I like mine more. It's more exciting, sure. Well, that's why I keep telling it my way, he says. Let's get another round and do a competitive test on the other folks here, shall we? By the end of the night, the whole bar agrees the new version is better. It might be because your new friend bought them all drinks. I don't know where this voice came from, but here we are. Move on.
Hey, good to see you, amigo. Seems like the desert didn't swallow you up after all. This place is changing. You ever see those big clouds rise up over the San Andreas? That's where the ranch was. They say the bombs they were testing turned all that white sand to green glass. Feels like everyone's trying to take their own piece of the frontier and use it for God knows what. All that land, fenced up, shut down, signs reading, keep out, no trespassing, turn back, get lost. The longer and farther Poncho and I ride, the more barriers we seem to come across. What good's a cowboy without an open range? But anyway, you know some funny stories, right? You're funny as hell, you know that? My faith? Well, I sure as hell don't have any faith in the folks running this country. They're doing right by themselves, always, and never what's right for the land or for the folks living in it. But anyway, amigo, what's the most exciting thing you've seen out here on the road?
I hope he doesn't ask for too many exciting stories because I am obviously short on those.
You live an exciting life, amigo. Morals? Ain't nothing moral about roping off the open range, locking it down and keeping it off limits to the very folks who live here. So, you know any good jokes? Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna tell that one next time I share a campfire. Traps? Well, a man can be locked up by the law, but also by himself. Longer I stay in one place, the more I feel like I'm doing myself an unkindness. Anyhow, you got a hopeful story, amigo? I could use some cheering up. Huh. So, maybe it all works out. Good story, amigo. Joy. You ever get to see a desert rain? No matter where you are, everything from the cacti to the coyotes, I swear you can see them all dancing for joy. I bet you've seen some really wild, exciting stuff out there, though. Tell me about it.
I'll do my best.
Amigo, who do you think I am? I can tell that tearjerker ain't true.
Oh, it's a sad story.
The past? It wasn't so bad. Back on the ranch, it was hard work, day in and day out. But I took for granted what it meant to have steady pay and folks who gave a damn about my well-being. Nowadays, my work and my well-being are on my own shoulders. Gonna lose too much water if I keep going on like that. And the sun's rising too. Time to get going. My path takes me this way, out across the desert. I'll see you some other time, amigo.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode of Where the Water Tastes Like Wine here. Thank you so much for joining me. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!